Can one summer really produce two separate British transfer records? You know the answer, incredibly, is yes. Welcome to a window of pure, unadulterated market madness. I'm your host, and today we're breaking down a historically unprecedented series of financial gambles. Now, this isn't just about spending money, right? This is about legacy, desperation, and total tactical overhauls at the absolute highest level of the sport. £117 million. Just let the sheer magnitude of that figure sink in for a second before we even reveal the names, the clubs, or the drama behind the deals. I mean, this right here, this is the new benchmark. It's the absolute astronomical peak of a market that has completely defied gravity. All right, let's dive into this. In this explainer, we're unpacking the top 10 most expensive football transfers of summer 2026. You've got Chelsea, City, Spurs, Barca, Real Madrid. They have all broken the bank this window to completely reshape their squads. So let's count them down, look at the strategy, and show you exactly where all that money went.
Section 1. The rebuilds begin. Ranking 10 to 9.
Coming in at number 10, we've got Arsenal putting £34 million on the table for Club Brugge striker Christos Tollis. Now, the biggest question here is, can a player who previously struggled in the Premier League actually succeed this time around? Well, Arsenal's heavily banking on the fact that he's learned and evolved from that really difficult earlier spell he had at Norwich City. It's a massive, bold roll of the dice for Mikel Arteta's front line.
At number 9, we head over to the Bernabeu, and you gotta ask, why would Real Madrid specifically target a Chelsea fullback? Well, Marc Cucurella's move to Madrid isn't just about plugging a gap. It adds proven Premier League experience and some serious tactical versatility to their backline. As Los Blancos look to completely reshape their iconic defense for the 2026 season, Cucurella offers them this gritty, reliable solution over on that left flank. Section 2. The midfield merry-go-round, ranking 8 to 4. Okay, before we hit number 7, we have to talk about a crucial honorable mention at number 8. Was Manchester City actually eyeing someone else before making their record-breaking move? Reports heavily linked City to Crystal Palace's Adam Wharton. I mean, he was the undisputed creative engine behind Palace's sensational FA Cup and Europa Conference League wins. But in a huge twist, City ultimately shifted their focus away from Wharton and went all in on Elliot Anderson instead. A true sliding doors moment for the Premier League champions. Coming in at number 7, it's Anthony Gordon to Barcelona for around €70 million, which is about £69 million. So the really crucial point we got to look at is, why did Barcelona need a Premier League winger specifically? Well, following Robert Lewandowski's departure, Hansi Flick desperately needed a totally different kind of threat up top. Gordon gives Flick this highly direct, high-pressing option, a guy who has the engine to just terrorize defenses all day and the versatility to also play right through the middle. Sliding into number 6, we have Mateus Fernandes moving to Tottenham. But listen, this wasn't just some isolated signing. This was widely described across the board as Tottenham's pure statement of intent for the summer. It was basically the loud, aggressive opening salvo of a much bigger Spurs rebuild, proving that the club had absolutely no intention of stopping there. Which brings us to a massive question as we enter our top 5. How exactly does a club completely outside of Europe's elite Champions League competition managed to convince one of the most sought-after Italian midfielders in the world to join their ranks? Well, by dropping £100 million for starters. That is the staggering fee, add-ons included, that brought Sandro Tonali to Tottenham at number 5. Tonali left Newcastle wanting a permanent move down to London, and since a romantic return to Syria became completely financially unworkable, it allowed Spurs to just swoop right in. Look, make no mistake about it, this is one of the biggest, most audacious signings ever completed by a club operating outside the Champions League. At number 4, we've got a departure that completely shook up the market: Casemiro's exit from Manchester United. After a real roller coaster of a spell at Old Trafford, the Brazilian anchor is officially gone. But you have to ask, did Manchester United actually solve their midfield problem by letting him go? It is a massive risk, especially when you realize United now desperately need to replace the 9 league goals that Casemiro somehow still managed to deliver for them last season. Section 3. Smashing the British record, ranking 3 to 1. Entering the top 3, we have Elliot Anderson's jaw-dropping £116 million move from Nottingham Forest to Manchester City. Now, how can a feat this massive for a 23-year-old midfielder actually be justified? Well, Pep Guardiola clearly sees a generational talent here. And get this,
At the exact moment the ink dried, this incredible deal made Anderson the most expensive British player ever, completely shattering the previous benchmark. The absolute financial madness of this video is just unprecedented. I mean, think back to 2023. Jude Bellingham's £115 million move to Real Madrid seemed totally untouchable, right? But this summer, that record wasn't just beaten, it was eclipsed twice. First by Anderson at $116 million, and then immediately topped again by our #1 spot at a staggering $117 million. So that begs the ultimate question. How on earth did the club at the #1 spot pull off the single biggest deal of the entire summer, breaking the British record yet again, all while having absolutely no European football and lacking the usual financial firepower that comes with it?
They did it by going all in on Morgan Rogers. Chelsea paid an unbelievable £117 million for the Aston Villa star. By fee, this move firmly sits at #1 as the single biggest transfer completed anywhere in the world this summer. He is now officially the most expensive British footballer in history, just narrowly edging out Anderson's £116 million move to City. An absolutely defining, monumental moment for both the club and the player. So we've seen the unbelievable numbers, the tactical gambles, and the broken records. But as we all know, football isn't played on a spreadsheet. It's played on the pitch. So I want to turn this over to you guys. Looking at this historic list of monumental financial risks, which of these staggering transfers do you think will actually work out best this season? Who steps up and handles the price tag, and who crumbles under the immense pressure? Drop your pick down in the comments right now and let me know your thoughts. And hey, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back to update this explainer again before that final deadline day clock strikes 0. Until then, keep your eyes on the pitch.